Well, it is another Sunday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, live. If you're looking at this program and it's not 2 o'clock on a Sunday, or between 2 and 3, you are not live. You're actually watching a rebroadcast of a live event. Welcome on today's program. We're going to be looking at messaging. I normally speak about messaging because messaging is not message. Because you may have a strong message and your messaging sucks. You don't have a message essentially. And I've spoken about it on many occasions and in a variety of ways because it continues to be sadly an issue which plagues many people in politics and outside. But certainly in politics, you may have a strong political message and a real poor messaging machinery or tactic, and your message will not go away. It will not go far. So today I wanted to speak a little bit about messaging, and I have titled my presentation for today Consistency in Messaging and Stick-to-itiveness that keeps your message alive. And for some good reason, I've decided to use the picture of number 45, the 45th President of America, as the symbol or emblem of stick-to-itiveness when it comes to a message. And I will break this down to show why, after 4 different indictments and 91 charges, number 45 still continues to be a serious contender for the US presidency. Because some people just overlook the fact and call him name and call people names and just discard or disregard him. But there is a science behind what he's doing and how he's doing it, and you never know. He may become America's 47th president. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, nor am I saying it will not happen. Chances are it could. And what we do as people who observe politics, certainly that's what I do as a professional, is I observe from a neutral area, a neutral point, and I comment based on my observation. I never try to force my views on people. Certainly I don't do so on my students and on my program, as I generally try to do. I try to stay, away from the politics and keep with the facts, the actualities. And even if the actualities and facts are political, so be it. So that's my framing for today, and I hope you take the ride with me in terms of consistency in messaging and stick-to-itiveness as key tools to keeping your message alive. And number 45, my producers will show you a daring picture of him, not the mugshot, not the mugshot. Show a really nice picture of the former president of America. Whenever you're ready, because he's the one in fact, get the picture ready. So when we actually begin discussing him, you could flash the picture or a couple of pictures for me. Because I think he is quite significant when it comes to his message. And I will seek to explain why is it that after some serious legal problems and hurdles, he continues to excel in terms of the opinion of Americans. And not because Americans, as some people say, whatever they say, Americans are astute, Dominicans are astute as Americans, and vice versa. But there is something in messaging that causes you to stay on message. And that is the trick I would like to share today, live on my program. So if you're a conservative, if you love number 45, you're going to love my program. If you are a Democrat and you do not care about reason, you're not going to like me too much. But so what it is, that's what it is. And I have dealt with that. The thing about me is that I have been consistent. From the time I've been messaging, writing essays, writing articles, I have always been on one front, education, trying to seek the balance. And I've written several political essays. And you would want to read all those essays to see that I have never deviated, never have I promoted a party or one side in my essays. It's always been looking to see where we are in terms of the principles of the issues being discussed. So before we get into that, I wanted to make some general statements. In fact, I posted a 45-second video sometime earlier today, which is enjoying some view right now. in which I was asking the youth to remain focused, remain vigilant, stay on message, push your message, but beware of people who are going to come to you and try to put your message on their platform, claim your message, dilute your message, claim it for them, use it for the effectiveness, and then at the end of the day, when they cannot use you anymore, they discard you. That has been done to youth in the system over and over and over and over and over and over again. So my idea to you, young person, if you are speaking out, speak out on your own volition, on your own platform, on your own terms, with your own agenda. If someone steps up to try to assist, examine them. They might be a wolf in sheep clothing. Someone who comes offering help on behalf of country, but they're actually looking to have you help their party. I believe that has been the case in my case and in many of the young people's case. I'm no longer a youth, but I have been there. And I do not want you to be used as others had been used. So, youth, I hear you, I see you, I feel you, I empathize with you, I identify with you. I struggled like you for 30 years, didn't get anything done because the people who were supposed to help and guide did not help and guide. They took me and they changed me and they put me in their fold and made me YFM. And then, well, it's funny, It's funny, the things that they did to young people, and they keep on doing to us. Because before I knew myself, before I could vote, I was a YFM member, and all I was taught was what YFM means and how the Freedom Party was it. Against my grandmother's wish, my grandmother was a Labour right. And then they end up undoing the Labour Party for Freedom Party to excel. And after they discarded the roots of the struggle of the people, I can talk about all the problems that brought with it. So they have generally used the youths. When I was a YFM, I knew nothing of what it meant to be. I just was told what I am, and I continued being what I was told that I should be. I'm not saying that I regret anything because I learned a lot, but the point is, young people, watch it. Politicians are going to come to you and tell you good stuff. No, call my program with me, do that with me. Here's what you do. And then they're going to direct you, use your energy that they don't have. And then when they use it and they get a little glimpse of strength, they're not going to have much use for you. So if I were you, I would focus on the things that affect me the most, stick to my message, promote my message on my own accord, and work with them if I have to. Because as a young person, you may not have all the tools necessary. You certainly don't. You certainly don't have all the tools necessary to deal with the system. So some of us have the tool. Trust those people who you believe have your back, or who at least can show you a plan with a proper strategy to implement that plan that supports your message and your ideals and your views. And in a case like that, you can say, okay, we can work. Outside of that, watch them. Watch them. They're going to come and try to get you, especially when you speak. They do not see you when you're not speaking. They do not identify you and say, okay, I have a program to promote youth. Let me come and build youth. In fact, they have had youth organizations that they mash up. And whenever they see an enterprising youth speak, they're going to say, that one. Man, build the youth. Let the youth grow and let them speak about what you do for them. Just trying to hijack the youth valor every time a youth speak. And I'm not speaking about one group. I'm speaking about all of you in the system. Because I've been through the system. 30 years of struggle, I didn't get any help. And now I see you all trying to do the same thing to the young people. Anytime one speak, now you know them. When was the last time you did a program that focused on youth, tried to diagnose youth problems, wrote an essay about youth, did a program, a youth camp, a training for youth, mentor youth? When was the last time? And every time one talk about the problem, you're going to seek to hijack their worth and their work. Young people watch for them and look out for them, and they're not serious, man. They're users and abusers of youth's energy and valor. And then they end up disappointing you, and they end up disappointing the nation. And before you know it, the youth are going to feel as if, look, we have no space, no say. The youth are going to give up, and the nation is going to go flat. We cannot do that, youth. We have to continue building our people and our country. The future of our country lies in your hands, young people. So step up and trust those who can assist you genuinely, and work with them, because we have to work together at the end of the day. So I wanted to use that as my preamble to my program. And I hope, well, I guess I will sanction that part be cut out and we use that to focus. um, on the message directly to the youth. I also wanted to big up my brother Cassius Daru. I had a reaction to a statement that he made, and Cassius and I had a conversation, well, a series of conversation following that statement. And I find him to be a reasonable gentleman, someone who I had not really have any in-depth discussion with prior. But I think his response to my response was just amazing, where he showed no anger, no enmity. He reached out and we had conversations. And I agree with him on many occasions. I just did not agree with him on the one point that the two-term limit was tied to black people not having the rights or the power for too long. Although there's some merit to it based on how blacks have been treated in America. Um, so we disagreed on that and we agreed on almost everything else. We speak about the uprising of 1930 in the Kalinago territory. We shared some views on this, and he's a quite knowledgeable young man, and we had a good conversation. So Cassius, thank you for reaching out, for being gracious, and for being respectful, because not very many people have been respectful or know how to be respectful when they are challenged, and I think you were quite sober, and I want to put that on record as well. All right. So here now is our focus on the message and the stick to itiveness when it comes to messaging that helps to traffic your message and to keep it alive. And that's where I used number 45 and I do not call the name. I think I explained why I do not mention that name at all, because the name is a brand. It's a 5-word, 5-letter name, beginning with a T. There's an R, there's a U, there's an M, and a P. I don't say the word because the word is a brand. And whenever you repeat a brand, you promote the brand. There is a branded name on buildings and places far and wide. That is a money-making brand. The brand was endowed with the US presidency and made the brand ultimate. And you're looking at the brand right now. So I don't call the name of this gentleman, not because I don't like him. I admire the way he does his politics. But calling his name is branding him and promoting him and putting value on him. And probably taking away from him too. So I don't want to risk taking away, nor do I want to risk putting. So I'm in the middle. I give him his official title as number 45 or 45 because he was the 45th president of America. And much has been made about him and his antics. Some of them which shiver me, some of them which I wish he had done differently. But again, he chose to do the things the way he knows to do the things. This man is my father's age. No, not my father, my mother's age. And my mom is my mom. I respect what my mom does, so I have to respect what he does. He should know best what he has to do. So forget about his antics and the things that he has done, his runaway sort of verbiage, choice of words, everything else that you can say about number 45, which is a distraction, I think, from his message. But at least his message is so well instituted that he keeps on getting traction. So number 45 came on the scene, and it was very simple. He wanted to go against the establishment. He was an anti-establishment candidate. He became an anti-establishment president. He lost as an anti-establishment president. He continued being an anti-establishment, not accepting he lost to loser. And everything that he had done and said then was just built up. Same message. In fact, when he thought he might have lost the election, his message was, they are going to rig the election. If I lose, I will not concede, because it would have been cheating. So he preempted his message before he lost. And he lost, came on the night before anything else came in, and said the election was rigged. So that message is synonymous with what he had been saying all along, and that's all he's been saying. So there were a number of things which happened between, around, and after his messages, and an insurrection ensued. Some people may say it was not an insurrection, it was a excursion, whatever. I know an insurrection when I see one. I hear the narrative, I see what the intention was to usurp the authority of the people during an election. That is an insurrection against the government. Now, I'm not saying that 45 was the one who sparked it or promoted it or made it happen, because the court will prove. That matter is in the court right now. But there was an insurrection, or there was insurrectious behaviors. And all this happened not at the behest, but in support of 45. His message has been, they want me out and they do not want me to do what I have to do for you and our country, and we must stop them. That's his message. Simple. We are against the deep state. We're against we are going to drain the swamp, although he didn't drain the swamp while he was there. In fact, his people that he brought became bigger swampish people, and they were drained by himself. But he continued saying the same thing. Message, consistency, stick to itiveness, and it will grip. Right now, he's in a field of about maybe 10 candidates, and he is well above 50 points in terms of what the Republicans believe, who they believe should be the candidate, and everybody else is struggling 46 points behind. And people may say, why? What's wrong with Americans? Nothing. That man and his message is on point. And of course, there are other things taking place as well. Because don't forget the racial sort of undertones that have been the hallmark, so to speak, of American politics, cultures, and societies, going back to the founding, even before that, when America was a colony and slavery was brought into America as a tool, as a practice, as a commodification of people for the benefit of the colonials. We can speak about that. So there is no hide or no shame in saying that there is something there that probably the MAGA movement has evoked. So that too is happening. But outside of that, the message has to be right for it to happen. So it has been consistent. And why change your message if your message is working for you? And why not change your message if your message is not working for you? There are some who are stuck on one political message. Protest, 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 cheat, cheat, and they're not changing it, although it's not working. 20 years plus. Corruption, it's not working, change. In this man's case, his message is working. So he's never, ever, ever going to change. And then when you realize that the people with the behaviors were getting arrested and going to be charged and they were going to jail, he changed his mantra that when I win, I'm going to take care of the system, take who out, same message, and the people who support him are incensed. They're going with it more popularity. Chances are this man could become president of America again. I'm not saying that he will, but he can. Guys, follow my tone. Follow what I'm saying. I'm not promoting anybody here. I'm just talking about his message. So when people hear that, they are still going to defend him because they believe chances are he might become. And when you become president, you have certain powers that nobody else can take. Unlimited powers to pardon for federal crimes. And that insurrection and those 12 years and 18 years that's been handed down to people, these are federal sentences. And guess what? If the man that you claim caused you to do those crimes is going to be president, and he is promising that he will get away, he will get rid of those crimes when he becomes president, you're not going to flip on this man. You're going to go to jail happily and wait for him to become president and do all you can. Ladies and gentlemen, it is as simple as that. It is the message. No matter how divisive and bad you think the message is, that is what politics is about. Sticking to a message that eventually grips. And when it grips, you don't go away from it. You don't jump from one message to the next. One day is Choxy, one day is this, one day is house, one day is abattoir. No, 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 no. Find a message that sticks and go with it. All you need is one strong message. Fear no more. That is the message. Well, that was the message of the late 90s, mid to late 90s. Fear no more. Fear no more. Fear no more. What was Obama's message again? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. This man's message is make America great again. For the past 3 elections, he has the same mantra: make America great again. I sometimes ask, well, if you're going to make America great again, it suggests that America was once great and America is no longer as great or great. So if that be the case, can somebody please tell me when America stopped being great? And I expect all sorts of fancy answers. But to be honest with me, be legit and show me when and what occasioned it. I'm hoping that my essay that I'm working on will get published and folks will read exactly what it is that I think about the movement. So I won't preempt it to say any more about it. Just to say that messaging is key when it comes to your message. Because messaging is one, message is the other. You may have the best message and suck with your messaging, and you will go nowhere. This man has stayed on message. Of course, it is causing some fracture in the American system, in American political culture, American society. But when people seek power, they don't think of all those things. They think when they get power, they will fix it or that will fix itself. I believe that the American system is so very well organized and it is so flexible in terms of the constitution that one bad presidency is not enough to derail the entire governing system. So even if you get 45 and he's a bad president, I'm not saying that he's bad, but even if you get him for 2 terms, that's not enough to mash up the American system. There's going to be some renovation that can happen while he's there through the impeachment or whatever. Because no matter what, if someone is doing really terrible and the people really know that there's evidence to say that they are really terrible, they will, as they did Nixon, tell Nixon, hey, Upsla, go. We're going to take you out. So go first. And if there was slam dunk, irrefutable evidence on the on the two impeachment that number 45 had, his people might have told him, boy. But at the time, yes, the insurrection happened, but the evidence was not readily had. So I think the second impeachment was rushed and hurried. Again, that's my opinion that I don't normally share. But you have to, when it comes to politics and people in power, you have to be very careful when you charge them. Like I hear they calling our Prime Minister of Dominica corrupt. I mean, wow. Where is the solid, irrefutable proof? You may have suggestions or hints that things are not happening right, but boy, before you say those things, man, you have to come with it, man. You have to bring proof that can tell the public that is true and tell a court also it is true. And then you can call for resignation and those things. But you can't just arbitrarily call on a full prime minister to resign with no legal charge, no conviction, nothing. No slam dunk case, no smoking gun, or bloody cutlass, or whatever it is that was used to commit the crime. We have to be very serious, guys. So messaging is key. So we spoke, and I'm touching and highlighting on areas just to provoke you because I am pushing one point. Messaging, consistency, stick to itiveness. If it means that I'm going to burn the system down, I'm going to do it because that's what I need to do to win. Not me, politicians, people who want to win and who understand the art of winning, especially those who are irrational with their approach to politics more than anything else. And irrationality is a perspective for understanding political power as well. I think that is in line with the Machiavellian approach. And there is the psychological, the cultural, the biological, the rational, etc. There are five basic concepts or policies or perspectives through which political power can be understood. Number 45's perspective is straight Machiavellian, man. It is irrational mainly and psychological as well, because he's a populist nationalist. So he stokes his antics and his message in fear of losing who we are as a people, as a nation, as a country, as the United States. And that is his message. So when he ran in 2016 on Make America Great Again, he won because his message was stronger than that of Mrs. Clinton. She was not anywhere much with her message. Her message was, what was her slogan? I'm with her or something like that. I mean, I'm not dissing her, but he had a clear-cut message. He was hungrier. He went to the trenches and he won. Yeah, the Russians tried to help, but the Russians didn't cause him to win. He actually did marshal a win. And he had that message in 2016. In 2020, when he ran against, well, when he was defending and Joe Biden ran against him, Joe Biden come fighting for the soul of the nation, and Biden never left the message. Soul of America. He was Make America Great Again. Again. So that was already tried, and his behavior was seen in office, and that worked to his undoing, and Biden won. And right now, again, he's going back against Biden and he's Make America Great Again. How can you have the same slogan in free elections? And that will be the slogan again if he runs in 30 years from now. Because MAGA is his thing. That is his message. That is his consistency. That is his stick-to-itiveness. That is his brand. If he loses, which he did lose, he could change it. But he had no reason to change it because he claimed that he did not lose. He claimed that his loss was not legit. It was unfair. Although, again, you don't rig an entire election for one man. That's another conversation we can have. But his message was tied into him losing. Because MAGA, as I said, comes with something other than just that. I don't want to go there because that's a far place to go. And probably if you were taking my class, I would spend some time on MAGA as a movement, and not a new movement at all. It's an old, very, very old American attitude. That some people seem to want to dismiss America for. And I always say, why dismiss America for America's past when America's past is what made America the kind of country America is today? Why not learn from it? You can't dismiss the past, learn it. Never to repeat the past. If at all, you should not repeat it. So when 45 realized people were being prosecuted successfully in the legal system, number 45 changed his mantra. The system is weaponized against me and you. The same system that he went to court to and said, look, the elections were rigged on about 64 or 65 occasions. And on every occasion, with every court matter that was filed, he lost it. I think he won one matter, not illegalities, no, some motion he won. But he filed 65 or so motions asking the court to take certain actions on his behalf. And he failed on appeal, even at the Supreme Court, where he had appointed 3 Supreme Court justices out of 9. He had 1/3 of them he had personally appointed. And they told him, you are wrong, sir. The election was not rigged. The evidence does not support what you're saying. Did he stop? No, he kept on saying what he had been saying because that is his message. Do or die. It's working for him. Watch his ratings in the poll now. Even compared to Biden, in terms of a national election. Because some people have some issues with Biden. They're saying that he appears to be aged, and aging is not an issue. It is just that he seems to be not aging as well, and they are not sure that he has the temperament to take care of the presidency for another 4 years, which is, again, I think well placed. Although I don't go into that thing of people being too old or aging, the man knows his stuff, but it appears as if because of how he's aging, he looks a bit stiff, which is just him. Some people in his age looks a bit more agile and nimble, and it's them. So I think cognitively, I cannot make a statement. I can't take a position on that because I am a middle of the road teacher professional. But there is an argument to be made for and against how he looks because appearance has a lot to do with politics. Coco Gauff, by the way, a 19-year-old who won the US Open, first teenager since Serena to win it, American teenager. She won that the night before my program went live. So this program goes live for the first time on the 10th of September. She won on the 9th in New York, the New York Open, US Open. She won. And one of the things that she said, and I commend her for that, and one of the things Coco Gauff said that helped her to win is that she learned to smile. She said she took the game so serious that she thought of the results even while she was playing. She wanted to win so bad that she blocked herself out because all that was occupying her mind was winning and not having fun. And the teenager schooled me, and a lot of us, I hope, when she said, I learned how to have fun and to be a bit less harsh on myself. And most importantly, I learned to smile. Does that ring a bell? Some people, you would tell them, be amicable, be friendly, be cordial, go to funerals, shake hands, kiss babies, smile. They would say, oh, what smile that? I'm not your friend. I want to take care of the country. My God, my Lord, how great thou art. Smiling, just smiling helps you to open up in ways. There are people who cannot smile, I'm not saying that is a bad thing if you cannot smile. If you're serious, you're serious. But if you're going to certain professions and trying to do certain things, dealing with people, you are better learn to smile. And a genuine smile too, because people know a fake smile. Because as tough as things get for me, when I smile, my smile is genuine. Because my smile is of God. And God says, look, Alex, when things are tough, smile. When things are good, smile. Your smile is your strength. So not everybody have the same gift. I think I have the gift of being gracious, meek, and smiling. So somehow you learn to smile. I told that to a politician the other day. He gave a speech on reform. And he was so stern, he couldn't even turn his head that way to watch or to pause. No smile. Who's going to want to expect you going to come and see them at their home and take care of them? And you're trying to go for a tip-top office and you can't even pause to smile? And when the prime minister smile and show his dimples, all you say in his show and cry too sometimes, which maybe is show too, but it's all part of the game. So when Coco Gauff said that, I said, I hope some people are listening because I never miss a beat when those people speak, That's what I do, When it comes to analyzing public figures. Like our Prime Minister of Dominica, after 20 plus years now, I have him down like a book. It's my job to study them. And that thing about corrupt and not cartel, no, I call it again, cabal, man, that is just helping this man. And I do not know whether people do not know that. Apparently they don't, because I listen to programs all the time on Dominica. As late as last night, and it's the same thing. That is not going to get you anywhere. That is giving this man strength. The same way the charges, the indictments are giving number 45 strength. So with every indictment that 45 gets, he's preempting it. The last one he got in Georgia, he says, all I need It's one more indictment for me to go higher up in the polls. He's on message. Every time an indictment comes, they are going to indict me, and by doing so, they indict you and America. I'm not saying that he's guilty or he's not guilty, and the court will decide what he is or not. But that is his message. So the fact that he's been indicted helps his cause because his message is his cause. And he's not deviating no matter what they tell him. How can he change his message now? No. That's why he's been successful in the polls. I'm not saying he's going to be a great president, or he could be. But I'm teaching here today the art of consistency, staying on message, and stick-to-itiveness. Even if it's a lie you believe the lie and sell it. I'm not saying you must lie, guys. I'm speaking about messaging. Because people eventually believe a lie if the lie is repeated over and over and over again. And when they believe it, there's nothing you can do to make it not a lie. Well, to make it a lie. Some people believe a lie as the truth, and the truth as a lie. People believe that certain things I did was a lie when it was the truth. That's how the game is in politics. Guys, are you getting me? I am getting ready to finish, because I think I've made the point. I don't really take a lot of your time, As long as I know my point is made, I back off and I allow other things to happen. And with me, I don't put my programs everywhere and everywhere. I come on a Sunday at 2 o'clock, and that's it. Other people put in programs Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Any day they want, just get it up on the program. I don't do that. I respect people. I respect the space. We all have to have a little say in this space. I know Lofty has a Saturday and a Sunday. That is Lofty space. Let Lofty do his thing on his space. But I seen live just coming up anytime. No, man, let's follow. Let's compliment people, man. Let's compliment people. Let's compliment people. Compliment messages and let our message radiate with other messages. But everybody wants to be a star. It must be me. I must be the one to break it. I must be the one to say it. No, I don't want to be the one to. I just want to be the one to benefit from all of us doing it well. I'm not tired of Dominica losing, no boy. Tired of the same old people running the country. No, when I say old, I don't mean aged. And how can you have a prime minister for over 20 years? One man. What happened? So they put us then. One party. No, man. All other countries in the world have changed the leaders how many times over. We just have one, and we're not even moving, we're not progressing. Anyway, I'm digressing. Let's come back to 45. Stick to the message. So whenever an indictment was coming, number 45 says, they're going to charge me. I'm going to go to Georgia to be arraigned on the charges. And our great movement will continue. And his movement is believing him. When the people get convictions and they go to the calaboose, because the legal system in America works, he's promising that he will pardon them. That's why he has to win. So he will maintain his presence in the polls, and this man could become the Republican Party candidate for president. If he becomes, and he's running against number 46, it is going to be one or the other. It could be him. It could be 46. Number 45 could be America's 42nd president. Or not. But at least for now, so far, so good. And it goes to his messaging. You see, I'm sticking with that. I make other inferences, but that is what I'm sticking with. So on the last indictment, which is a serious one, I think one of the more serious indictments, and 19 other people were charged with him, or 18 others. How many? Mr. Producer, is it 19 others, or he made 19? Confirm that for me. I don't want to be wrong. He said, politics is just a thing that you have to understand. It's a science. So he flew into Georgia by private jet into a private airport, got charged, got his mug shot, fingerprinted everything. He had to have done it. They tried to get away from it. But there's no way Georgia was going to say no. A Republican-led state, But the Republican leader is not budging because he has a life and a family to live after this man. And I believe in people who stand for rights and integrity. So he got the mugshot taken. The mugshot is a picture that they take when you are being charged and processed. And you know who shared the mugshot? Number 45's campaign. While he was on his plane heading back to New Jersey, he put out the mugshot before CNN or NBC or some of those more left-leaning media would have done it. He put it out. And by the hour or two after, he had mugs and paraphernalia selling with his mugshot. Carefully calculated political semantics. Let us make money on the erroneous. Even if it hurts you, let us flip it. Reverse psychology. That is what we, people who understand politics, do for politicians if they allow us to do it for them. I remember, somebody tell me I have a mug shot, I will not be able to do certain things. I will not call names. The person might be a Trinidadian for all you care. And I'm like, you could use that because the occasion that you got it for was for standing up for a cause that it can be used to promote you as a champion. He said, why? And I just said, okay. Look at what number 45 did with his. Exactly what I told the guy could have been done with yours. So, gentlemen and ladies, the idea of messaging and sticking with it and being consistent is what I wanted to share. I have shared it. I dabble around the preamble because every now and then I will drop a little hint somewhere because sometimes you have to give evidence of what you're speaking about. So I did that. And if anybody fashy or they can kwashe. But the last I checked, I was a free man with my own thoughts, speaking in a space that is protected by the Constitution of all, well, certainly of America and of Dominica. Maybe not Russia and China. I am not Russian or Chinese. So I have the right to speak. And I will do so. And whenever I speak, I will speak to the best of my ability and the things that I know I can defend. And I will certainly speak out for the youth. They can speak on their own behalf, but I'll try to guide them to tell them stay away from some political hyenas who had a whole cadre of youth and lost them all. Why? Find out why the YFM is no longer a YFM. And I'm not coming at you, Bosso. I was part of it. Why don't we have a vibrant YFM? Bosso, I don't pick it on any other party. Bosso is my partner, and I'm saying that to Bosso. And the other parties and the youth arm that will just allow to dissipate. And you want to come and try to claim youth and say youth should? In which book? What have you done to show that you are willing to work with youth and to respect youth and embrace youth? Where is the, well, I don't want to call the other parties. It's Bosso alone I picking on today in the YFM. Bosso understand what I'm talking about. Bosso, you get it, right? I know this is you know Bosso. And I know you know what I'm talking about. But Bosso has never given up. I remember working with Bosso and Franklin Moses and Walsh. What's his name again? The magistrate Walsh. These guys were the leaders of YFM when I was at YFM. They were a little bigger than me. But these guys were giants in my eyes, man. They could do no wrong. And there was a Maglaw guy too. But I remember Franklin Moses, Ozzy Walsh, and Johnson Buster. And Bosso is the only one standing. Well, Franklin, yeah. Ozzy is into other things. But Bosso has never given up. Bosso needs a national award, you know. I think somebody should recommend that Bosso gets a national award. One of the longest serving politicians, you know. Come to think about it. Bosso, have you had an award, Bosso? I think the Freedom Party leader should write on behalf of Bosso, and Bosso should be given an award in November. Oh shit, it's too late, man, to send him his name in, man. Carlos, is it too late for us to recommend Bosso for an award? Bosso should get an award, man. Bosso is still young, relatively, but Bosso should get an award. Gee, my producer said it's too late. Okay, next year, Bosso and Mr. Edison James should be on the award stands. At least a meritorious award for Bosso and the Dominic Award of Honor for Mr. James. What are you saying? I with that. So my producer is telling me by June we should have it in, and I think we should submit those two names. Nobody else don't go and run and do it now. We say we're gonna do it, you know. We will do it. Give us a break to do it. Johnson Boston for meritorious service to Dominica in terms of politics, and Edison James for serving as chief executive of our country and other things that he would have done. They both deserve it. So the DAH for Mr. James, or you can say the CCRO if you don't want to give me DAH, and certainly meritorious for Bosso. Is the CCRO the DAH now? Isn't that the same? The CCRO award? No, I think the DH is what the presidents and them getting and the real big political fellas. So our new president, if she gets in, well, she will get in because there is no other area, no opposition. You know, there's no party in the government that is opposing. There are members, 2 members elected, but there's no party. So why I want to talk about how silly it is a decision not to contest the last election, you know, but that is going off topic. I'll save that for another time. Yeah, so I think Mr. James should get the big award. He should get the presidential award, man. The DH. Why not now? Well, maybe at least it's a zero. At least it's a zero. Granted, yeah, reserve the DH for, but why not now? He was prime minister. Well, not every prime minister can get it or should get it anyway, because it's true. So let's be careful. Let's be a bit conservative with it. Let's give him the Cicero, and let's give also the Meritorious Service Award. I know Pam. Oh, I think Pampo was given an award. You know, wasn't it DH he got? People who have really excel has gotten DH. And the first thing that is done when the person becomes president, the president which is reigning pass on the DH to the new president, because nobody else can award that honor. It has to be a president. So every president begins office with a DH because they pass those orders on, and that's called a Dominican Award of Honor. Why? I'm hearing in my little ear that they gave the DH to Austri, Reginald Austri. Well, if Mr. Austri got it, Mr. James can get it too. Don't you think? Yeah, man. If you all give it to Mr. Austri, my friend, to carry, Mr. James can get it too, because Mr. James served in a higher office and for a long time. So there's no excuse. Let us give Mr. James his award, the Dominic Award of Honor. And that's not a partisan thing. It is a genuine thing. I'm calling on for an award for my friend and mentor in the oratory, where that man speaks like water flowing on a tin top on an evening when the sky is dark. He's an amazing gentleman, man. You may not like his politics, you may be against his party, but give him his award, man. He deserves it. Bosso to we bosso. Come on, man. Don't only give the people that support you awards, man. That's not fair. Anyway, before I get myself in trouble here, I'm going to stop. My producer told me 19 people got indicted in Georgia, and everything else looks good. Guys, I think I have stayed on my message. I provoked you a bit. I teased a bit, but I'm ready to stop. I'm not too sure whether there's anyone who has challenged me with a question or two. I'll be happy to deal with a couple of questions if there are any. I'll ask my producer to show them, and let's deal with it. Viva Mamu, if the DLP has been, is, and continues to be corrupt, should the messaging on that change? If so, why? Okay. Well, one thing, I do not know whether the DLP is corrupt and has been corrupt and continues to be corrupt. I have nothing that proves to me that they are. So that is one. Two, if they continue to be, based on what you know, and you continue hammering that home, and you have had no success, yes, you should change the message because people are not believing you. Find a different way to say the same thing or go on to something different. Because I have been hearing DLP is corrupt for 2 decades. And DLP continues doing better. In fact, not you, sorry, a party gave the DLP, not the DLP, the power sharing arrangement, more power by not contesting an election. Papa Bonje boy, that was a poor political decision not to contest when that man was at his weakest. That's why he called the election. He was wobbling from inside and out. He called it user campaign. Change your message. That is where the message should have changed. Viva Mamo. Okay, no election, no reform. That changed. We retire in that message because that man dared to call election. Dominicans, let's show him who run things. You get a new slogan, you change your leader, you put a and you come back with a new fresh thing, and you get maybe a 10 or 11 seats or 12 seats, or you maybe sweep. That's what you should have done. You're not contesting. That was a mistake, a huge mistake that I think that party will have a rough time to recover from. So that is where I think the message should have been changed or could have been changed. Forget that corruption thing, that reform thing. That's a come with something that the people are going to buy into, a bread and butter thing. Are we losing Dominica kind of a thing? So Viva Mamo, that is what I think. And I honestly, genuinely think so. I didn't want to go there, but you pushed me there. So I had to answer you accordingly. And I respectfully hope that you understand. And you bear with me for at least explaining to you what I think should have happened. Because the old mantra that I still keep seeing you all saying is not going to ever work. Protest is not a strategy. It is a strategy when you can get the entire nation to protest. You will not get the entire nation to buy into your protest strategy now. It's not going to work. So find a new message. No, I'm probably saying too much, and probably I'm saying what I need to say because I am an educator. I care about my country. So I'm hoping somebody's listening. You can use my expertise for free if you want to. I hope you call me and let me show you how it is done, because it's one thing to know what you have to do. It's a second thing to be able to do it. So if you want to do what I'm saying you should do, pay me. Let's have a conversation. That's how I make up bread, guys. Employ me so I can help you to do differently or to do better. All right. And next time you employ me or you ask me, listen to me, because the last time you asked me and when I tried to help you, you never listened. And look at where we are today. All right, let me see. Is there anything else I can look at, please, quickly before we go? Lofty. The DLP regime is a very corrupt one, Alex. The definition of corruption is meaningful in this regime, is magnified in this regime. The evidence is very, very clear. Yes. What is evidence? Lofty, my brother, what is evidence? You yourself, Lofty, my boy, I listen to you every minute. I admire you. I listened to you last night, incognito. I didn't even let you know I was there. And you had a big program with a lot of people. And you were on your game. And I'm going to check you tonight again with the youth. But Lofty, when you say in your program that the people are posing as proxy for the people who own the land, is that evidence? No. Can't go to cut it at and win. And I know Lofty, I feel in it. But they are doing so well to disguise it. So the evidence is there, but it is not evidence until it is real evidence. We talk about the villas in Savanpai and the names. Bubbles, my friend, say he sold crabs to go and make a villa. And I sell crabs for all my life, more than Bubbles. Bubbles don't sell crab like me and my grandmother. And we could not even buy a 2x4, and Bubbles say, crabs eating me. I mean, Bubbles, my partner, you can take that. You're my boy. So Lofty, I am with you, Lofty. We are on the same side of the argument. It is just that Evidence has to be foolproof, man. And some people have a way of milking the system, gaming the system, and I think the system has been gamed until people will not take it anymore, and people will decide. But I cannot love to join the multitude and say corruption, 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 cabal, 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 with nothing to show for it. I cannot, and probably will not do that. It probably is there, and based on the way people live their lives, yes. Even the mansion that the prime minister is living in, and the $64,000, which I was told is his mansion anyway, I cannot go and say it is because his name is not on it. You see what I'm saying, love? So, love, we are just messaging in a different way, but we're saying the same thing. But the evidence that you say is there everywhere to see, for all to see. I haven't seen it. Show it to me. Show it to me, love. Private, DM me, and let me see it. Okay, let me take one more message quickly, and then we'll move on. One more message. Choose one correctly, my Mr. Producer, and let's go. Um, Sam Hill. Oh, Sam, you're the luckiest one, boy. You got the third and last message in. Sam says, it is easier to fool people than to convince them they have been fooled. Yeah. Sam, boy, there's a reason why I love you. And I love Lofty too. Of course, I love Viva Mamu. All these are fantastic people. I look forward for one day for Viva Mamu, Lofty, I, Joshua, and the heads to sit around the table and to talk. Tad James, that young youth too, what's his name again? He spoke the other day. Shrila G and others. Guys, let's have a congress, as the Americans did. That's what they had to do to fix the country and take the British out. They had a continental congress. Why the hell we can have one? Want to be speaking on different platforms. Lofty on fire over there. I'm on fire here. Tad on fire. Why we cannot work it out together? TUD has a platform, Lofty. Carlos send the constitution to Lofty. Let Lofty read to see the plan of unity. That is not a party to come and do it on its own. It's an organization to bring people together. Let's work with what TUD have. Let's make it happen. You don't have to run as TUD at the end of the game, but let's work with the plan. The plan is already there, Lofty, and let's have a conversation, a congress. And let's take that government out of office. But no matter how much I say that, people say this beggar begging, so I stop asking. I will message instead. All right. Tempted to go for one more, but I won't. We'll leave it as that until next week, Tuesday. I'm going to join Carlos on the TED program. We're going to be talking about the youth, the disappearing youth, the youth that are dying, and what that means for our country. Join us on TUD's platform in the next little while. You see, I divorce my work from TUD's work. I'm an independent individual. TUD is what I'm part of. So I do not have the same platform. I don't mix issues. So you can join us live on TUD's platform in a minute for that focus on the youth. Thank you for being here, guys. And I'll see you next week, Sunday.